Good morning, March 28th today. Today we're getting into Judges 7 and 8 and then Luke chapter 5. And we're hearing more about Gideon. And in both scriptures today, we're hearing about God and how God uses people in some miraculous ways. Here's Gideon coming from really a nowhere place. And he's called on to lead an army, and it's incredible, what God does, because it's not a matter of just fighting the army. I mean, he starts out with 30,000 some soldiers, and he says that's way too many. He said there's no way that God's going to get the glory. So he's told to trim it down. Basically the ones who are afraid to go back home, and he ends up with 10,000, and even that God says, that's even too many, so trim it down, and he uses a test kind of like Gideon tested God a little bit ago, with the fleece, but here's God testing him, or God testing him and saying, okay, take him down by the water, and the ones who lap up the water, like a dog, you pick them, and there's 300 of them. So here they are. They're going into battle with just 300 people against a huge army, against just magnificent things. And the funny thing is, or not funny, but I think the magnitude of this is that they didn't even have to draw their weapons. He gave them horns, and they broke jars, and they just confused the other army, where they ended up killing themselves. Or each other, and to me that shows the power of God. And the downfall is we see Gideon, he's taken such a strong stance for God, and not taking over the government and all those kind of things. But then he collects all kinds of jewelry and he makes an idol. So to me that just shows the humanism of even the ones who are called by God to do miraculous things. They make bad decisions sometimes, and bad choices. Just like Luke 7, we see the disciples being called for the first time. Here they are fishing. And a little background too, again, that when the Jewish population, the people, the young men, they were sent off at the age of 13 or so, and to learn to be a rabbi. And the ones who aren't able to hit the mark, they're sent back home to learn a trade. And this is what we're seeing the disciples, Simon Peter and them sitting in the boat, and here they are fishing all day and don't catch anything. And Jesus comes along and says, what, go out and let's cast again, and they end up catching all kinds of fish. And for them, that's what they've seen, and I think that's for us too, that we look at ourselves as visual learners a lot of times, and that's just a matter of sitting down and paying attention to what's before us, but learning by the things that are before us too. And here they are fishing, and they're catching fish, and they seen God, Jesus provide those fish for them, and then Jesus says, what? You're no longer going to fish, as fishermen, but now you're going to fish for men. And that had to resonate in their heads, a little bit about what this was going to what was going to happen here, and how Jesus was in charge of it and in control of it. So again, I just love that kind of scripture, because when you're called to do God's work, he sets everything in motion to do it the right way. When Christine and I started ministry, that was a particular call. Lay down your business, lay down, your dream home, and come follow me. I'm going to make you fishers of men. And when he does that, it's the right call. It's the right thing to do. It's his path and how he's laying it out for you. So some great scripture today. Take some time today and just pray and seek what God is calling you to do. How is he going to take you out of that comfort zone, out of that just that normal lifestyle, that ordinary lifestyle, and how is he going to use you for some miraculous work in his kingdom work. So have a great day today, and I will see you in the morning.